The story begins in Aswan, Egypt, inside a dusty house hiding a terrible secret. A young girl walks in and finds her pet canary lying dead in a pool of blood. Her mother, a cold, mysterious woman the story only calls the magician, drags her husband Gamal down beneath the house. There, buried in the dark, sits an ancient sarcophagus. Gamal steps closer and asks if it has awakened. The answer comes fast and brutal. The creature inside screams to life, and a metal hook swings up and catches Gamal straight through the jaw, killing him instantly. Whatever is inside that coffin is old, powerful, and very, very hungry. Cut to Cairo. American journalist Charlie Cannon is here on assignment with his pregnant wife Larissa and their two kids, bright-eyed little Katie and young Sebastian. Life feels normal. Busy, but normal. Katie spends her mornings running out to meet her friend Layla by the fence outside their rented home. But one morning, the magician appears on the other side of that fence. She holds out a ripe nectarine and smiles at Katie. Katie takes it. She bites in. And a scarab beetle, black, crawling, ancient, bursts out of the fruit and disappears straight into Katie's mouth. Inside the house, Charlie glances out the window and notices a stranger handing their daughter something. Charlie sprints outside. But Katie is already gone. Then the sky turns brown. A massive sandstorm swallows the street whole. Through the howling dust and darkness, Charlie catches one glimpse, the magician, walking fast, carrying Katie in her arms. He runs. He screams. He pushes through the blinding sand. But they vanish. Just like that, his daughter is gone. Charlie and Larissa rush to the police. They meet Detective Dahlia Zaki, sharp, no-nonsense, and her superior, Detective Ismail. But Ismail is already suspicious of the parents. Charlie, who understands enough Arabic to follow the conversation, explodes with anger. He demands answers. He demands help. He gets neither. 8 years pass. The Cannons are back in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Life has moved forward, but not really healed. Sebastian is now a teenager, frustrated, quiet, carrying the weight of a family that never truly recovered. Their youngest daughter Maud was born after Katie vanished. Larissa's mother, Carmen, lives with them and fills the house with prayers and rosary beads. Charlie and Larissa barely talk about Egypt. They barely talk about Katie. The wound is too deep and too old. Then, halfway across the world, a teenage boy on a bicycle in Egypt spots a small plane going down into the trees. He watches it crash. Emergency crews arrive at the wreckage and find the dead pilots. But buried in the debris, completely untouched, is a sarcophagus. The same one. Two archaeologists pry it open and stumble back in horror. Inside, wrapped head to toe in yellowed linen bandages, looking like a corpse, is a teenage girl. Then her chest heaves. Her eyes fly open. She screams. It is Katie. Alive. 8 years older. The American embassy calls the Cannons. Charlie nearly drops the phone. They fly to Egypt immediately and find Katie in a hospital bed, vacant eyes, still body, making tiny gasping sounds like a broken machine trying to start. She doesn't speak. She doesn't respond. But she breathes. Charlie and Larissa hold her hands and cry with relief. They bring her home. But from the moment Katie enters the house, something feels deeply wrong. Carmen kneels beside her and begins to pray. Katie headbutts the old woman so hard she stumbles backward. Then Katie's body begins to convulse, twisting, shaking, violent, and not in the way of a medical condition. In the way of something that doesn't want to be prayed over. Larissa physically tackles her daughter and jabs her with a sedative. The family tries everything. They cut her hair. They feed her. They speak to her softly. Then Larissa and Carmen attempt to trim Katie's long, overgrown toenails. When Larissa clips the big toe, a strip of skin tears away, not a small cut, but a long, horrifying rip running all the way up her leg like a seam coming undone. Larissa rushes to treat the wound. Katie stares down at the open gash and begins stabbing her own fingers into it, over and over, calm as someone stirring a pot. That night, Charlie and Larissa argue in harsh whispers. Larissa insists this is trauma, this is damage, this is fixable. Charlie knows better. Something is wearing his daughter's body. Something got inside her in Egypt and it has been there for 8 years. Charlie examines Katie more closely and finds strips of cloth wrapped around her torso, covered in ancient script. He photographs them and takes the images to a university professor. The professor goes pale. The writing, he explains, is a binding ritual, text designed to contain a powerful ancient demon called the Nazarenian. The bandages on Katie's body are the only thing keeping it from breaking fully free. Back home, Charlie sits with Katie and watches her. She clicks her teeth. Over and over. Charlie suddenly recognizes the pattern: Morse code. Katie learned Morse code in the Girl Scouts before she disappeared. She is still in there, buried, trying to reach him. He grabs a pen and starts decoding. The message repeats only one word: Layla. Charlie contacts Detective Dahlia again. She agrees to help. He digs through boxes of old letters from when Katie went missing and finds one signed Layla Khalil, the girl from the fence. The girl Katie always went to meet. Dahlia travels back to Aswan and finds the house with the sarcophagus. The magician is waiting. She lunges at Dahlia with terrifying speed, but Dahlia puts a bullet in her and drops her to the floor. Then Dahlia spots another woman, older, haunted, sprinting toward a cliff at the edge of the property. Dahlia catches up. The woman turns around. It is Layla, all grown up. The magician is her mother, and her mother cut out Layla's tongue years ago to keep her quiet. Layla reaches into her clothing and hands Dahlia a videotape with Katie's name written on it. Meanwhile, back in Albuquerque, the Nazarenian is done waiting. It reaches into young Maud and makes her stand up in class and unleash a torrent of foul, adult language at her teacher. Charlie is called to the school. While he is gone, Carmen kneels by Katie's bed and holds up her rosary cross, praying hard. Katie's eyes lock onto the cross. Then the cross itself moves. The chain of Carmen's necklace slowly coils, tightens, and begins strangling her. Carmen claws at her throat. Then an invisible force launches her clean through the window. She crashes onto the roof of Charlie's car, right as he pulls into the driveway. He barely has time to register what he is seeing before a pack of coyotes appears from nowhere and descends on Carmen's body. She is gone in seconds. The family holds a wake for Carmen. The Nazarenian is not done making its point. It slides into Sebastian next, walking him upstairs to open Katie's locked door. Sebastian obeys like a puppet. Meanwhile, little Maud stands in front of a mirror and slowly pulls out each of her baby teeth with her fingers, one by one, dropping them into her palm with quiet precision. Then she opens her grandmother's purse, takes out Carmen's dentures, slots them into her bloody gums, and turns to smile at her parents. It is the most deeply wrong smile they have ever seen. Then she walks straight to the preacher running the service and bites off his ear. The room erupts in screaming. Katie descends the stairs. Then Katie climbs directly into Carmen's open casket. The lid snaps shut. She leans down and bites into Carmen's neck, and Larissa rush to open it. And when they do, Carmen's embalmed body tumbles out onto the floor in front of the horrified guests. Katie is crouched inside the casket and begins drinking the embalming fluid. When Dahlia arrives with the videotape, the family gathers in silence to watch it. On the screen, the magician speaks directly to the camera. She explains that her family has guarded the Nazarenian for centuries. The demon must regularly be moved from one vessel to another, transferred out of an exhausted body and into a fresh one. Children are the preferred targets. Their bodies last longer. They can hold the demon for decades. The tape continues. Larissa starts to look away. Charlie reaches for the remote. But Larissa stops him. They have to know. The tape shows the ritual, the night Katie was taken, the moment the Nazarenian was passed from an old vessel and poured, like smoke, into their 8-year-old daughter's body. The bindings have been the only cage. And now Sebastian, still half-possessed, is upstairs cutting them off. Strip by strip, the wrappings fall from Katie's skin. The Nazarenian feels the cage dissolving. And it erupts. It launches Katie's body at Charlie, slamming his head into a wall until blood pours down his face. It finds Dahlia and forces a scorpion down her throat, the creature crawling, stinging, punching a hole through the side of her neck from the inside. Charlie drags Katie down to the floor and pins her. Dahlia, bleeding, barely breathing, jams her own finger into the hole in her throat to hold it open and forces out the words of the incantation for the transfer ritual. Charlie looks down at his daughter's face, twisting, ancient, not her, and makes his decision. He holds still. He opens himself up, and the Nazarenian flows into him. Katie goes limp, her eyes clear. She looks up at the ceiling, confused, like someone waking from a nightmare a decade long. For the first time in 8 years, she is just a girl. The family seals Charlie in the sarcophagus. He is conscious. He is still in there, somewhere beneath the demon. And in the dark, his fingers tap against the metal wall, --. I love you. Morse code. His daughter taught him well. Katie begins to reconnect with Sebastian and Maud, slowly, awkwardly, like a person relearning what a family feels like. Larissa watches and then makes a phone call to Dahlia, still recovering in a hospital bed, and tells her they are not finished. There is something left to do. In a prison cell somewhere, the magician sits alone. Then the door opens. Larissa walks in with a syringe and drives it into the magician's neck without a word. She leans close and tells the woman, quietly with absolute certainty, that she knows exactly who she is. That she knows exactly whose mother she is looking at. The woman who started all of this. The woman who stole their daughter. She will carry the demon now. She will be its cage. Forever. Dahlia arrives, wheeling in the sarcophagus holding Charlie. And as the film ends, they begin the ritual one final time, transferring the Nazarenian out of Charlie and into the magician. And the family, broken, scarred, and finally together, begins, piece by piece, to heal.